Okay, the contents of this video are meant for a certain thinking type of people. And yeah. So where I'm going to begin today is telling you that reality is manifested and it's a system of relativity to you. So um, you're manifested into your experience, and each reality that a person experiences has continuity. Now, this continuity I speak of, it is that, if you're experiencing, you only experience coherent states into the next state. So, um, let's say, nuclear explosion goes off in your location. Well, you're not going to experience in which what ends your experience because experience is like a feedback loop of itself in which it knows about itself. So if it comes to an end, it does not know about itself. So everyone's reality is within these continuity structures in which if you're experience that reality, it has to exist within continuity. And I'll get into that a little bit more. So, um, how it relates to manifested anything. So a lot of people might, if I can manifest stuff, why can't I manifest this? Why can't I manifest that? Why can't It's because it has to have continuity for the entropy if it did manifest. So let's just assume manifestation is real, okay? If it's real, then you need discipline of its action to actually utilize it. Because if it was so easy to hold onto and grab and manipulate reality with it, the entropy of that, like think about it. Like what would a human being do with too much power? It would ruin the game. It would ruin the whole point in which why you incarnated, right? In manifested experience, it's always a collective projection that there are always other people in your reality also manifesting through some underlying framework, whether you're conscious of it or unconscious of it. And everyone's projection outward is interacting with each other's projection outward. Every countable measure of time, the underlying metaphysical substrate that is manifestation and all in which everything emerges from, shifts position to a different position of itself. That even the understanding of how to manifest an object is in motion. Um, it's because everyone is putting in their chips of how they say reality is by their attunement, and then there's this um colliding of reality fields that put the probabilities in place, and when someone measures it, it gets measured and a, a, a probability is pulled for what is tuned to. Now, I know that might seem like a lot, and I do have more refined metaphysics within these bubbles, but I'm trying to quickly go over like a lot of information that each warrants their own video and a high amount of depth. Uh, I'm gonna keep moving on, and we can touch base on some of that eventually. You are manifesting reality from your relative point, and you can bend all of it through manifestation. But the thing is, you're only going to continuity states based upon what every other actor is anchoring down, as if the projection is like a blockchain verifying each point of itself in continuity of itself. And when I speak of this continuity, it's nailed down like uh, as okay, think about this. The quantum immortality thought experiment. You know, the thing where you click the button and you either get $1 million or you die. Well, replace this with generating realities that have continuity. You can only hit realities with continuity. Uh, and I think that's a better way to apply that thinking, that you only transition to sane states of experience or you don't observe. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, how do I manifest? You're not really giving me that. Um, so this is how I think it works, or I believe it works, and I experience it working. Uh, so you are your whole you're a pattern, and it's a type of like resonation with like fucking archetypes. I use the archetypes, but basically you're resonating with certain idealism and factions and things like that, right? And now, but it's like deterministic. And now hear me out. So your body and shit and your mind is deterministic, and and if you want to infiltrate that determinism where you have free will is the ability to bend your focus. So by changing your focus to different properties in which changes how your perception emerges, you'll influence the mind, which would say from there you probably influence your body because your thoughts do shit to your body, and we don't really even understand that completely. But anyway, and then not only that, behavior changes. So now you're affecting other people, and then other people are potentially also soaking up that frequency. So basically, it's that you're it's like attunement. Um, but specifically with the focus, your mind eye, like what you experience and feel like when you're watching the sunset, that can't be quantified into like text and classical information. It's the difference between like quantum and classical, and you can try to measure it, but it will never give you the fucking, no matter how much I write, it won't make someone actually feel the sunset if they fucking never experienced it, right? So it's about taking this quantum object that's your kind of like your visualization, your perception, and resonating with states of consciousness. Like resonate, like feel feel the as if you already have the things that you're asking for. Like don't feel like you're asking for them. Feel like you already have the thing in your hand. Like what does that feel like? And then you like pay attention to that, and you pay attention to that, you pay attention to that, and you overwrite your patterns. Maybe like you take on metaphysical concepts, and this is where I take it a step further and I go, every spirituality, every religion, every idea, it's all fucking real. And it's more about building systems of continuity and then acting within them appropriately and it making sense and all that. That this shit works at such a degree, you can engineer your own systems of magic and they would literally operate if you had it corresponding with everything else in manifested reality. And a big reason why this works, or a telling that you know it works, is because our own experience is all this information I'm telling you, but obfuscated within our own language. So when you're manifesting reality, you're doing it through your own, like how you see shit. But like neuroscience and shit tells you that our like fucking our experience is like a kind of like a controlled hallucination. You know the concept that, is my red, your red? Well, guess what? Your whole perception is mapped in this relativity of logic to itself, and that is also how you're experiencing reality. And this is why sometimes when we're trying to share ideas, it's kind of hard, you know. And intelligence is relative. You might see a guy you think he's dumb, but he's like super smart in a niche area, like maybe it's like machinery or something, but he doesn't have like proper schooling. It's that it's more about attunement to these states of consciousness. and less about, how it physically works or can be expressed. It's about the attunement, and in that words are intrinsically empty, and rather they're like hollow containers full of intent, in which I'm like trying to smack the object in your fucking third eye to actually get you to actually experience it and not just repeat words in verbatim. And that's another thing. A lot of these concepts I might have related outwardly to things, but I've gotten all this information through divination. Or, a lot of people will quantify this differently, but like tapping cosmic intelligence, just doing it raw through intuition. And yeah, some of it I remember. Like obviously I remember it because I'd be doing this a lot, but it's literally intuition, and I see the concepts more and 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 more all the time, and I can like nonstop do divination. I just have limited time. But this isn't something that's like specific to me. It's like we all have the capacity to do that if it's consistent with your journey and you're like making a deliberate effort to do it. I've just been doing it so long, you know, that I guess I'm good at it. Question mark. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end it here. Um, there'll be more videos or something. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe. Fucking, there's gonna be a Discord link in the comments, or not in the comments, in the description. And, you know, I'll get more professional at this maybe, or I won't, and it will still be useful information. So, peace out.